today's lesson is going to be using the factored form, okay, to find the zeros of a quadratic, okay? It's a very easy lesson, and it should hopefully sink in very well because it's based a lot on the stuff we did before. Okay, all right, so whenever you want to sketch a quadratic, especially if you don't have Desmos, whenever you want to sketch a quadratic, an important question is how do you find the x-intercepts or the zeros of a quadratic? How do you find the 2 points, at which it touches the x-axis? And please, just a reminder, if you're borrowing a pen or a pencil, please make sure you turn them. I just bought a couple of bags. Seems to be that people, just take them and forget them with them. Please make sure you turn them because you know what, other classes need to use them as well. So the question is, how do we find the x-intercepts? In other words, how do you find the zeros? Okay. Basically, how do you find the points or single point, or no points? Because remember, it could touch how many times? 2 or it could never touch. Okay. So basically, how do you find the points or single point where the parabola touches? So everyone touches x-axis. Okay. So where does it touch? How do we find where it touches the x-axis? Let me zoom in so everyone can see. Okay. Why is this important? Because first of all, without using tables, if you're not allowed to use a table, then it becomes very hard to actually find where it touches if you can't use the table. So it helps us sketching the parabola without using tables. Also, it helps us find the vertex of the parabola, okay? The highest point or the lowest point, depending if it's open up or if it's open down, okay? Also without using tables, okay? So today's lesson is meant to actually make your life much simpler without having you do way too much work, okay? Okay, today I'm going to teach you this method to do that. Here is one method. Use the factored form. Can someone tell me what's so special about the factored form? Like, how do you know if you're looking at a form that it's factored? Remember, there are 3 forms: standard, factored, and vertex. What's so special about the factored form? Yes. Okay. Yes. So that's what we use to make it. How do you know just by looking at the form that it's factored? Come on, people. You need to know this. It's actually the question on the quiz. Yes, there's no. Yes, there is 2 sets of brackets, or there is no what? There's no power of. You do not see the power of 2. You do not see the power of 2. It's there, but you just don't see it. Okay? All right. So here is how we do it. So here's the first example. So for each one of the quadratic expressions below, find the x int. What does int is mean? It's a short form for what? Because remember, I said I'm not going to use the long word. I'm always going to use this short form. What does this mean? Intercepts. Int means intercepts. And I'm putting S because it could be 1 or 2. It could be 1 or 2. I'm leaving it up to you to decide. And the x value of the vertex. Okay, here is how easy it is to find it when you have it in factored form. Can someone tell me how many brackets do you see? Or how many sets of brackets do you see? 2. Perfect. You take each one. Look, everyone. You take each one and you make, I want you to write, make each bracket, equal 0. Make each bracket equal 0. Okay. So what does this mean? Well, let's look at the first bracket. What's my first bracket, everyone? Or I should say, what's inside of my first bracket? X minus 8. So here is my first one. X minus 8 equal 0. Can someone tell me how to solve this? Yeah, go ahead. Exactly. You keep this x here, and you move the minus 8 to the other side, paying the price of what? When something moves to the other side, what happens to the sign? It flips or it changes. Because it's minus here, it becomes plus. So x equals 8. Perfect. So that means what? X int number 1 equals 8. Nice. Let's do the same thing to the second one. What's my second bracket? This one. So x plus 4 equal 0. Which means x is equal to what? Negative 4. Which means by second x-intercept, is equal to negative 4. Okay, we found the first thing that the question wants. Here's the second one. We need to find where the vertex is. Can you tell me, when you sketch a parabola, you always have to sketch it what? What do you call something that's cut into two identical halves? What do you call this line? No, okay, so line of symmetry, or we sometimes call it axis of symmetry, which means what? The axis of symmetry is where compared to the two x-intercepts? It's exactly in the what? Who said that? It's exactly in the middle. Can you tell me, how do you always find the middle point between 2 points? Let's say you're taking 2 courses and you want to know your average. What do you do? If you're taking 2 courses and you want to know your average, or 3 courses and you want to know your average, or 4 courses, how would you always find the average of a bunch of numbers? You add them and divide by the number of things. Well, apparently, we only have how many intercepts? 2. So every time you find these, you're practically done finding the what? The x value of the vertex. So I want you now to write to find. Well, let's see. To find. Oh, because remember, because you had to move it here. When you move a number to the other side, the sign you have to pay a price. The price is flipping the sign. So I want you to write to find. Yes, it is. To find vertex, let's get the average. So go ahead, xv. By the way, what do you think I mean when I say xv? It means the x value of the vertex. X value of the vertex. By the way, tomorrow we do the y value of the vertex. Today we just keep it like that. So xv equals x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Okay, what's my x1, or the x-intercept number 1? How much? 8. You just plug in now. 8 plus, how much is the second one? Negative 4. All divided by, what's 8 plus negative 4, Kristen? Yes. Or you can say what? Not losing. Gaining $8 and then losing 4. Guess what? You still have 4. So 4 divided by 2, and as Pierre said at the beginning, it's just what? 2. Done. Okay. Let's sketch a quick x-axis diagram. What do I mean by that? I mean by that the following. Sketch an x-axis, everyone. How many points do you put on it? Technically 3 points. You put the 8 first, you put the negative 4, and almost right in the middle, you put what? 2. Can someone tell me where the 8 is? Is it more to the right or more to the left of that line? It's more to 8 is positive, so it's towards the right end of this. So I'm gonna put it in red. Oh, this is x1, this is x2. Yeah, I sometimes write them very quickly. That's why. I actually always teach very quick. Where is 2 here? Always has to be in the what? Come on. So roughly, I'm going to put it right here. Done. That's it. Yes, man. Sure. How can you check that these numbers make sense? What website do you use? Desmos. So everyone, just give me a second here. I already have Desmos up. I didn't need this. There we go. What is it? X minus 8. Everyone, eyes on the screen. X plus 4. Okay? Here it is. What am I going to do? I'm going to hover on this point and see what it gives me. What did I get? Negative. By the way, I don't care about the 0. I care about the first number, the x. Negative 4, which is the one we found. I'll hover on this point. What did I get? Perfect. Now I need to hover on one more point. The what point? The vertex. So I have to find it first. Well, it's right here. What's the x value? That's it, which is exactly what we found. Perfect. All right. So that's the proof that everything we did makes sense. Okay, let's do the next one. Is this also in factored form? Raise your hand if you say, yes, this is in factored form. Yes, it is. Because you see what? You see 2 sets of brackets. Do you care that there's a number before the x in each one? Nope. It's still factored form. So everyone, I want you to say this. I want you actually to write factored form. Factored form. Okay. What do I make each bracket equal to? 0. I'm going to give myself some grid lines to see. Yes. All right. Make each bracket equal 0. All right. Here's the first one. What's my first bracket? Can someone tell me how do you solve this? What do you do first? Raise your hand. First, what do you do? Chris. You switch what? Yes, everyone. You move the 3 to the other side, making it what? And now what's my last step? You're right. So what am I going to do now? Am I going to multiply or divide? What'd you say? 3 divided by 2 is what? 1.5, but with what sign? Sure. Yep. Negative 1.5. I sometimes, everyone, sometimes I like to write my 0 with a cross through it in case, there's, honestly, force of habit. Sometimes I do. You know what? Did I do it like that the first time? Oh, then you know what? I thought I did. There we go. Just a 0. Many teachers do the what? The cross through the 0. Sorry, the cross through the O. Okay, what's my next step? Make what equal to 0? The second bracket, or the content of the second bracket. 4x. What do you do first? So you move the 6, which becomes what? A positive 6 or just a 6. And then you divide 6 divided by 4. Also 1.5. That is just a coincidence. I worked out the number that way. But what? But a positive 1.5. $6 divided by 4 people is 1.5. Same ratio. Yeah. Now what do you do? By the way, you are done the what? You are done the x-intercepts. What's the point in between all the time? The what? What's the point in between the vertex? So to find vertex. All right, let's do this. X, V, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, a negative, which not only that, a negative and a positive with the same amount. That is fine. Everyone, listen up. Peter is a bit uneasy because he's like, but if you add these two to each other, one of them is 1.5, the other one is 1.5, and one of them is negative, and the other one is what? That is fine. What do you get when you add the same number to itself, but one time is positive, one time is negative? What do you get? 0. Basically, the number cancels itself. That is absolutely okay. Happens all the time. The vertex is exactly in the middle of the grid. You got it. Again, if you're unsure about the numbers, just redo the math again. If it gets to use the same numbers again, hopefully you're right. Okay. So x number 1 or x1 plus x2. By the way, feel free here to put 1 and 2 if you like, instead of making a statement like this every time. Look, everyone, instead of having to say x equals 8, which means x int number 1 equals 8, feel free to say x1 and x2. It's completely up to you. Whatever makes your life easy. Also depends on you have how much space. Divided by 2 equals negative 1.5 divided by 2. 0 divided by 2. 0 divided by any number is what? Yeah, if you have $0 to give to 2 people, each one gets nothing, which is basically saying 0. Done. What's my diagram? Same thing like before. I'm going to sketch a line, a horizontal line, always a horizontal line. Maybe right here. Can you tell me which one of those points is on the right side of the line? Which one of those values? Yes, the positive one. Oh, don't forget, everyone, don't forget to label your line X. Please, oh, sorry. Please label your line X. So right here, this is positive 1.5. And right here, how much is here? Come on the other side. Negative 1.5. And where exactly is the 0? Right in the what? Right in the perfect middle, as much as you can. So I'm going to say it's right here. Done. By the way, you will never have this method changed on you. Grade 11, grade 12, first year, you will always do it that way. Bilal, what's up? Go ahead. Where am I losing you? Hmm? Yeah. Oh, okay. If you're taking 2 courses and you want to know your average, what do? You add them first and then you divide by. What if I had 3 points? I would add them up, divide by. Yes, since I have 2 values to average, I just need to add them up and divide by 2. And whatever I get is whatever I get. Positive, negative, 0, whatever it is. Okay, that's why we divide by 2. Good question, because I only have 2 things to play with. All right, last one for the first page. Oh, let's hold on. Let's check. what is the Desmos? There we go. The first bracket is 2x plus 3. What's the second bracket? Come on. Second bracket. Minus 6. Where is it? Where is it? It's here. So, there we go. Where is my first x-intercept? Right here. Nice. Minus 1.5, positive 1.5. So where is my vertex? Right in the middle of the universe. How much do I care about the minus 18 today? Not today. No, not today. Today I only care about 0. Okay? Okay, let's do the last one. Is this also in factored form? So we are ready to do things the way we've been doing for the last 2 examples. Okay. Do I need to write make each bracket equal 0? Can I just jump to the math? Yes. So what do you do here? Come on. What do you do first? Move the minus 7 to the other side. By the way, everyone, listen up. Just Abu Bakr knows what he's doing. But I just want to emphasize one thing. Abu Bakr, you said move the 7, right? Technically, the minus is a part of the what? Of the 7. So always make sure that when you say the number, you also say the what? The sign with it. If it's positive, obviously, there's no need. If it's negative, please make sure you say move the negative 7, because you're moving it as a collection. So 5x equals 7. And now x, I guess x1, equals what over what? 5 over 7 or 7 over 5? Because it's going to make all the difference if you do it the wrong way. Yes, always this number by itself divided by this number. Does it matter that the 7 is bigger than 5? No. This number and this number, they could be the same. This one could be bigger. This one could be smaller. It doesn't matter. It matters that this number by itself divides the number that's annoyingly next to the x. So 7. I mean, can you keep it as a fraction? Of course you can. But let's make it a decimal to see where it is on the decimal scale of the line. What's 7 divided by 5? It's 1.4. 1.4. Okay, let's do the next one. It's 2x minus 9. Same idea. 2x minus 9 equaling 0, which means 2x is going to equal what? Positive 9 or just 9, which means 9 divided by 2. Let me just make, yes, 9. So x2 equals 9 divided by 2. Or asking how much is half of 9? 4.5. 4.5. What do I do with these two numbers now? I find the what of them? The average. So I'm just going to jump to the last step. XV equals 1.4. You know what? Let me actually write x1 plus x2. I know you don't have to write it every time, but you know it's always good to write the equation first. (1.4) positive, or so I should say plus, not positive. How much is 1.4 plus 4.5? 5.9. Oops. And how much is 5.9? Indeed, it is 2.95. Yes. Okay, let me make my line, my x horizontal axis. I'm going to do it in red. Interesting. Everyone, both numbers are what? That's fine. One of them is bigger than the other. So the 4.5 is more to the right, and the 1.4 is before. So 4.5 is, let's say, here. 1.5 is right here. Sorry, 1.4, I mean. And somewhere in the middle, pinpoint the vertex. I'm going to say maybe here. There we go. 2.95 XP. Give me 1 second to check. I mean, I know we're right because it made sense. But let's graphically check. What's my first bracket? Come on. First bracket. What's in it? What's my first bracket? 5x and 1.4, 4.5. It never fails. And what should be the point in between? 2.95. Everyone, eyes on the screen. Everything works out. Nice. Can someone tell me if this is factored or something else? This is not factored. You do not see two sets of brackets. Say it. So what if the quadratic, but simple is actually, it's a simple trinomial, which is what we did on Friday or Thursday? Thursday. So what if the quadratic given to you is in standard form? Go ahead, everyone. Standard. Yeah, let's go with red. Standard. Okay, hold on 1 second. Everyone, Masoud is asking me, how do you know this is standard? Who would like to answer him? Sebastian, tell Masoud in the very easy way, how do you know immediately this is standard? Go. There is absolutely no bracket. Can you tell me another feature? I mean, your answer is correct, but what else? Abu Bakr. Yes, the square is only on top of the what? No brackets, no square on top of the brackets. Perfect. Masoud, makes sense? If it looks like that, standard. Okay. Well, if you have it standard, you have to switch it back to what? What was the form we used 3 times before already? Factored. Thank you. You can switch it to factored and repeat what you did in example number 1. But that means you have to do what? You have to do factoring, which is what we did a few times last week. Say again, sorry, I just was right. Yeah, sometimes you need that. Sometimes you can go straight to what? To simple. Again, depends what I give you. You're absolutely right. Can you tell me if this is a simple trinomial or not? Remember, trinomials mean it's got 3 things, which we see. It's got x squared, it's got 10x, it's got 21. Do you remember what makes a trinomial simple? Remember, these are the kinds of questions you have to ask yourself, between you and yourself, before you start factoring. What makes this one simple? It is simple trinomial. Why? Only one feature makes that. Do you remember what makes a trinomial simple? Come on. It has to start with what number? 1. Perfect, Maria. And it does. It starts with 1. So I want you to put a 1 here. Show yourself the 1 to prove to yourself that's a what? It's a simple trinomial. So just put a 1 here. If it's 0, it kills itself here, and you only have a straight line, not curve. Good. Okay. So I want you to say what here? Simple trinomial. Simple. By the way, I never say trinomial. I just say what? Simple tri, because that's short for trinomial. Do you remember how we factor simple trinomial? We had a lesson, and the next day we had a practice worksheet. Who remembers what number you look at first? What? Yes, Abu Bakr knows. What is it? You're right. I look at the number at the end by itself. So, Abu Bakr, okay, let's start. So, I'll put the 21 here. So what do you have to list? All the what? All the pairs, all the dividers, all the factors. I don't care what you call it. You know what you're doing. What's your first pair? 1 and it has to be a pair. So everyone, my first pair is 1 and 21. Good news, I only have one pair left. What's the only other pair that multiplies up to 21? Only one more option. 7 times 3. 3 here, 7. Can someone tell me how am I going to decide which pair works well for me? And why is that? No. I have to look at another number in the question to decide what. Kylan? I need to create a 10. The only pair here that gives me a 10 is 3 and 7. Awesome. Okay, Kylan, take it one step further. Both signs should be what? Why? Because everything here is positive. Great, we're done. So go ahead. We're done the factoring. So go ahead and I want you to circle this. So basically it's y equals x plus 3 and x what? Plus what? Do you remember how do you check your answer is correct? Remember, you never have to ask a teacher to check your factoring. Bilal, what do? You multiply it back in. What's x times x? What's 7 x's with 3 x's? And what's plus times plus? Plus and 3 times 7. Always check, please. Takes you 5 seconds, but at least you guarantee you're on the right track. Okay, am I now at a step like the first page? I sure am. Let's make each bracket equal to 0. All right. Obviously, I'm not going to write many words. We're going to start with the math. So x plus 3 equals 0. Hey, that's an easy one to solve. You just move the plus 3 to the other side. So your x1 is equal to negative 3. All right, next. X plus 7 equals 0, which means your second x will be moving the plus 7 to the other side, which is minus 7. By the way, do you notice what happens to the sign? Everyone, what happens to the sign? Yeah, it's always because you're going to shove it what? To the other side. You're always going to move it to the other side. Okay, what do I do now? I found the x's. What do I have to find? The what in the middle? The vertex. Thank you. So, wow, we have so much space we did not need it. So xv equals x1 plus x2 all dividing 2. What's my x1? Negative 3 plus what's my x2? Negative 7. By the way, everyone, many teachers don't like when you do that. What do you have to put around the minus 7? Yeah, they don't, even though technically it is correct, they always like the first number, if it's negative, it's fine by itself, but they always like to see a bracket, especially if there's a plus or a minus in between. It just looks good. Minus 7. There we go. There you go. Which gives you what? What's losing $3 and then losing $7? Losing $10 as a whole. Which means you are at negative 5. Done. So what do I do now? I make my quick x-axis diagram as usual. Here, oops, sorry. Here it is. This is x, obviously. All right, let's pin to the point. Okay, here's my question. Minus 7 and minus 3. Which one is more to the left? Can someone tell me? Imagine I have a number line. Which one is at this hand? And which one? Go ahead. Yes, minus 7 is always to the more left. Why? Because it goes minus 7, minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. The more minus it is, the more to the left it is. Yes? Yes, exactly. So minus 7 is here, and minus 3 is here, and somewhere in the middle, maybe here. Whoop, there. Yes, that's your minus 5, which is x of the vertex. And let me quickly sketch this standard form to show you that everything is legit. All right, hold on 1 second. X squared. What's the next one? Oh yeah, plus. Plus 10x plus. All right, zoom out and see. Oops, zoom out. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, there we go. Nice. Look, everyone, in one shot. This is minus 7. This is minus 3. And this is how much? Minus 1. All the numbers that we perfectly and correctly found. Okay. Go ahead and copy this one because the next one has something in it that we've never seen before. And I need everyone to focus on it. Are you going to tell me what to do with it? Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. So come on, finish copying this one because the next one is more work. Yes, hello? Sorry, you're cutting off. Who?
Rachel Moncrief.
Yes, she is. To guidance or to the office?
Sorry?
So, yeah, she is here. Rachel is here.
Okay, can you stop at the end of class?
Absolutely, no problem.
Thanks.
Oh, Rachel, let's just finish this one first. They said at the end of class, no problem. Yeah. Okay, everyone, let's go to the next one. Pencils down, please. I'm just going to ask a couple of questions first. Is this factored form? No, it's not. You're right, it's not. It's what? So go ahead, please write standard. Just write standard. It is. However, is it a simple trinomial? Sebastian, you're right. And why is it not a simple trinomial? Because it begins with a what? With a 3. If it were simple, it should begin with a what? Crap. I cannot. Or just a 1. Everyone, please put the phones away. This is a new idea and it needs to sink in. And I can't teach it 10 times every day. What's my first number? What's my first number? 3. It needs to be a 1. 3. It needs to be a 1. What's my first number? What's my second number? What's my last number? Do they all divide 3? We're on to something here. 3 divides 3, 12 divides 3, 15 divides 3. What do you call it when we divide all the numbers by the same thing? What was the first factoring technique we learned? The first factoring lesson. What was the title on top of the page? Look through your notes. What was the title of the first factoring lesson we were taught? Come on. It was last week, I think on Tuesday or Monday, not sure. Look through your notes. I'm not going to say it until someone says. It was either the Monday lesson or the Tuesday lesson for sure. I'll wait. can wait until 11:05. No problem. Oh, the question was, what is the first factoring technique we learned last week, either on Monday or Tuesday? Yeah, go ahead. The one before. Nope. The either Monday or Tuesday. Huh? What's up? Common factoring. Thank you. Common factoring. 3 minutes to come up with that as a class? All right. Can someone tell me how we do common factoring? What was the first step in common factoring? Come on. What was the first step in common factoring? You look at the what? You look at the numbers. 3 and 12 and 15. They all divide what? Perfect. So, I want you to write use common. Let me write it nicer. Use common factoring. I'm going to even zoom in. What number did we say they all divide? So what do you do with the 3? You take it out. You write it first. You take it out. That's what I mean. Okay, what do we do now? What's 3 divided by 3? 1. What's 12 divided by 3? What's 15 divided by 3? Negative. Yes, you're right. It's negative with a 5. Everyone, the 1 in the bracket now is a what? It starts with a 1. So what do you call the thing in the bracket now? Yeah. Simple trinomial. Thank you. Sometimes you have to use common factoring to get it to simple trinomial. Not all the time. Everyone, did I need to do common factoring for this one? Did I need to do common factoring for this one? No, because it's already what? The other one wasn't. So we had to use what? Common factoring. Sometimes you're stuck. You have to do both things. Okay. So now I need to focus on this guy. Can you tell me what number do I focus on first? And forget the 3. Forget the 3. It's there. It's important. But for now, we're going to forget it. What number do I focus on? What number do I focus on in that green space? Just the what? Just the 5. Good news. 5 is only a product of 2 numbers. What are they? 1 and? No, does anything else work? No. It's an odd number, and it's already so small. 1 and 5. Okay. Yes, go ahead. No. Okay. I don't want to say I changed it. We look at the number first, and then we play with the signs inside. Trust me. Everyone, trust me, looking at both the number and the sign together at the same time is gonna be confusing. Bilal, work on the number first and then do what? Play with the signs until they work out. Okay? Do it step by step. Do not rush through. Okay, so it's gonna be what? X 1 and X 5. Everyone, here's my question. Does this make sense? Again, I want you to forget about the 3. Why not? Yeah, how can you have 2 pluses and somehow create a minus? Sorry, that doesn't work. Okay, let me just, so I'm gonna erase both. Can this work? Why not? Why does this never work? Because when you multiply -1 by -5, you should get +5. You would not get neither this one nor this one. The only thing you would get is this, which is really like almost going to be the same. Can someone tell me which one's going to be the plus and which one's going to be the minus? Sebastian. Nice. Remember, the middle sign goes with the bigger number. It's always the one that's going to win. Perfect. So Sebastian told us, just make this one a plus. And he is absolutely right. Is this now factored form? Because you have how many sets of brackets? How many sets of brackets? 2. Okay. You make this bracket 0 and you make this bracket 0. By the way, are we going to care about the 3 from now on? No. We had to just take it out to become simple. That's all. The 3 was annoying because it was not making it simple. You take it out, everything becomes simple. All right. So let's start with the first one. Here's my first bracket. X minus 1 equals 0. No, okay, Aiden, the largest number, or sorry, the larger number takes the middle sign all the time. Always. If the signs are to be positive. Sorry, if the signs are to be different. My bad. Okay, here's my first one. What's my second one? X plus 5 equals 0. Which means x2 is going to be what? -5. What do I do now? Not much. I take the average. What's 1 plus -5? Which is like losing, sorry, gaining $1 but losing 5. Gaining $1, losing $5. It's a 4 with a negative. Yep. Awesome. Say again? Yep. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and the negative does not have to change because there's nothing under it. It's a minus. Yes. All right. And here is my horizontal line. Can you tell me which one of these is more to the right? Of course, positive is to the right, negative is to the left. That's how the number line works, or any number line. And you choose a point in the middle, maybe here. There we go. Done. Okay, everyone, we only have 15 minutes. No? 20 minutes left. I'm not going to fully do this one. I want to assign it as homework, but I will do you a favor. I'll start you off. Is this a standard or a factored one? Everyone, come on. Is that standard or factored? That's standard. We don't see brackets. We see a legit x squared. It's standard. But is it a simple trinomial? Why not? Because it starts with What do we need to do with that 2? Common factor it out. Nice. So go ahead, write standard. Standard. And under it write use common factoring. Two divides what? Come on, 2 divides 1 and the other 2 also divides 1. 12 divides 1, 2. And since we already, I mean, I could say 3, 4, 6, and 12. But what's the biggest number in all of them? 2, which has to be the thing you want to what? Eliminate. All right. Let me just finish this one. We're almost done. So y equals 2. This is a 2, by the way. 2. Okay. What's 2 divided by 2? Yeah, 1. You have to start with 1. That's the whole point. You need to make it simple. Yeah, 1x squared. You got it right. Yes, my friend. Plus 2. You can say x. You can say 1x. I'll say 1x for today. No problem. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Everyone, this becomes what now? This is a trinomial, but what kind of trinomial? This is a simple trinomial now. What number do I focus on first? Just what? Just 6. I remember, worry about the signs at the end. Come on. What pairs multiply to 6? What's the easy one? 1 and 6. And 2. Okay. You want to only generate 1. Which one of those pairs will give you 1? 6 and 1 or 2 and 3? Hold on. No, hold on. What's 6 plus 1? What's 6 plus 1? 7. That's not what I want. What's 6 minus 1? That's not what I want. So 6 and 1 are a bad pair, or is a bad pair. Bad pair. What's 3 plus 2? 3, no, okay, but what's 3 minus 2? Nice. Can they both be pluses? No, they can't, because there's a minus. Can they both be minuses? Also no, because minus times a minus, some has to give me plus. So one of them has to be plus, one of them has to be minus. Which one wins the middle sign? The lower or the bigger number? The bigger number always wins, which means the 3 has to be what? You got it. You don't even have to check, but you are more than welcome to. And I will leave the rest to you, because the rest is literally the same amount of work as this one.